Good day, everyone. Welcome to the last part of the problems involving the equation of the circle video tutorial. Today we'll be dealing with somehow um, complicated problems involving the equation of the circle. Not that too complicated, maybe average type of problem. So let's go with example number 9. Write an equation of a circle C based on the given information. So this will be our informations. Let's tackle this one by one. Let's go with number 1. The first is the center at 5, comma 4, and it touches the x-axis. Now, if you have a graph, if you locate 5, comma 4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will be the center. And if it is touches the x-axis, meaning it is tangent to x-axis, meaning that the radius of this is the measurement of the y-axis 4 units. Because if you count it, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is the unit of this. So the radius is 5 units. So we have now the center that is 5 comma 4 and the radius of 4 units because it touches the x-axis. If it's tangent to x-axis, then the value of the y coordinates will be the radius. And if it is tangent to y-axis, then the value of the radius is the x coordinate. So this will be noted below because the circle just touches the x-axis. So the distance from the center to the x-axis is 4 units. So that is the radius. So after getting the radius in the center, all we need to do is substitute the value. And we now have the equation of the circle. Now next is the center is at 10, comma 4 and it passing through 2, comma 2. So all we need to do here is to use 2, comma 2 to get the radius. So let's just substitute first the 10 and 4 and get the circle equation. And upon getting this, let's substitute 2, comma 2 to get the radius itself. So 2 minus 10 squared and 2 minus 4 squared. So that is negative 8 squared plus negative 2 squared. So that is 64 plus 4, that is 8. That is 68. So the radius is the square root of 68. So now we have our equation of the circle. For number 3, for the third one, it's the same with the previous one. The center is 3, comma 8 and will pass through point 0, 0 or the origin. So same method, just get the partial equation of the circle, then substitute 0, 0 to x and y, then simplify it. Now we have negative 3 squared plus negative 8 squared. So that is 9 plus 64. 9 plus 64 is 73. So the radius is square root of 73. And now we have our equation of the circle. Radius squared is 73. Now this is similar with the first example. The center is just 2, comma 5 and tangent to y-axis. Remember, if this tangent to y-axis, the distance from the center to the y-axis is 2 units. So that's why 2 will be our radius. So for the solution, just substitute all the values that we have, simplify it, and now we have our circle equation. Now for the next one, a circle with a circumference of 64 centimeter and the center at 0, 9. So let's solve for r first. We know that the formula for the circumference is 2 pi r. So let's equate 2 pi r to 64 pi centimeter. So let's divide both sides by 2 pi. Cancel this, cancel this. So we have our r is equal to 32 centimeter. Now we have our center and our radius. So all we need to do is to plug that out into our equation of the circle. Let's simplify it. And now we have our equation of our circle. And lastly, it has a given of the area of 49 pi centimeter and a center at 2, comma 5. So let's solve for the radius first. So we know that the formula for area is pi r squared. And let's equate that to the area of the circle to get the radius. Now let's divide both sides by pi, and that would gives us r squared is equal to 49 centimeters squared. Let's get the square root of both sides. So our radius is 7 centimeter. So now we have the center and we have the radius. All we need to do is to substitute the values that we have. Simplify it further, and now we have our equation of our circle. For number 10, this we need to find the center and the radius given the general formula. Now, if we have a general formula given, the best way to find the center and the radius is to transform each formula into center radius form or standard form. So we'll do that. Let's start with number 1. So to do that, let's group the terms into x and y's. So this one I group x squared minus 2x, and I put an additional plus and a blank here. So plus y squared minus 8y plus blank here, and I put up negative 47 to the other side. That's why I have 47. Now the things that I need to do is to get the thing that to add here to make it a perfect square. We can do that by dividing it into 2, and we square the answer. 2 divided by 2 is 1, 1 squared is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4, 4 squared is 16. So if I add 1 here, I should also add 1 on the other side of the equation. And if I add 16 here, I should add 16 as well. So now that I will have this equation. Now I will simplify the equation. I just add this. So this total 64. Now I will change this into a squared binomial. I can do that by getting the square root of this, getting the square root of this, and getting the sine of this. And that's it. So same thing with the second on the y. I do that. Now I have the equation in standard form. And with this, I can now locate the center and the radius. The center here is 1 and 4, and the radius here is 8. Square root of 64, that is 8. Okay, for number 2, same process. You group the x and the y's. Nothing. Now let's complete this. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So plus 4 here as well. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Squared is 4. Plus 4 as well. So that gives us this equation. Now let's simplify it further. So we have, it'll change these 2 into squared binomial. And now we have our circle equation in standard form. Now after we have the standard form, we can now get the center. So the center here is negative 2, comma 2, and square root of 36 is 6. So that is the radius. Okay, so I hope that this gives you help. Let's deal with some other problems. So again, let's group this. Pardon me for my, it should be form. So let's complete the square. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 squared is 25. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So plus 25 plus 4. As you can see here, we don't have a perfect square radius here. So let's deal with this. So I transform this into squared binomial. Squared binomial. Now our center will be negative 5 comma negative 2, and square root of 32 will be our radius. So that this will be our answer. Now on this part, let's the x doesn't have anything with it, so let's keep the x on single out. So let's put 84 on the other side. Now 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 squared is 16. So 84 plus 16. And that gives us this one. Simplify it further. 84 plus 16 is 100. Now change this into squared binomial. Now this will be our circle equation. So 0, comma, negative 4, and the radius of square root of 100, which is 10. For the fifth example, let's transform this first into, let's simplify it first. Let's remove 9 on x and y's. So we can do that by dividing 9 on both sides. So if we divide 9 here, so this will become x squared, this will become 9. 12 divided by 9 is 4 over 3, simplest form. 6 divided by 9 is, the simplest form is 2 over 3. And 31 over 9. I did not I did not simplify it to because we can't do that. So let's put 31 over 9 on the other side, and let's do the completing of squares here. 44 over 3 divided by 2 is equivalent to 4 over 3 times 1 half. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. So this will be 3 over 2. No, 2 over 3. 2 over 3 squared is equivalent to 4 over 9. So we have 4 over 9 here, plus 4 over 9 here as well. Now 2 over 3 eh, divided by 2 is equivalent to 2 over 3 times 1 half. Cancel this one, so we have 1 over 3. The square root of this is 1 over 9. So plus 1 over 9 plus 1 over 9. Okay, now we have this as our equation. Let's simplify this. 31 plus 4 plus 1 is 36. 36 divided by 9 is 4. So now we have our equation. Our center is 2 over 3 and 2 over 3 comma 1/3 and the radius of 2 units. Now for number 6, let's do the same. Let's simplify it by dividing 4 on the equation. So 4x over 2 divided by 4 is x squared. 4y squared is divided by 4 is y squared. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 12 divided by 4 is 3. And 2 divided by 4 is 2/4. So I could simplify this, but since I'll be dealing with squared fractions here, it would be easy if I would not simplify it to 1 half. You will see what I mean later. So I transpose it here. I group x and x. Then I add something here to complete the square. So 5 over 2. We cannot simplify it. We just squared it. We have 25 over 4. So plus 25 over 4. 3 divided by 2. We cannot simplify it. So we have 9 over 4. So plus 9 over 4. So let's transform this into squared binomial. Get the square root of this, get the square root of this, that is 5 over 2, and get the sign of this. Get the square root of this, get the square root of this, that is 3 over 2, and get the sign of this. Then add this, 25 plus 9, 25 plus 9, that is 34 plus 6, 36. 36 divided by 4 is equal to 9, so 9. So this will be our equation of our circle. Now we can say that our center is 5 over 2 and comma 3 over 2 and the radius is 3 units. So that's all for the tutorial on problems involving equation of circles. So I hope that you learned something about it and um, that you would be using it into your exams or in your activities. So I hope that you see you in the next tutorial. Bye and thank you.